My name is Rory Houlihan. I ran for U.S. Senate last spring, 2016, to stop the ticking time bomb so I could put our economy on track for the bright new day instead of all things ending. Well, I lost the election and am not running, but the ticking time bombs are still here, if not more so. So let me educate you on the ticking time bombs and give you the rest of the story. Part 16, K3, the U.S. Senate and the Vice President, or if you love me, kill yourselves. The Vice President of the United States shall be President of the Senate, but have no vote unless they be equally divided. Let's stop here because this point of law is very important for this upcoming week. This point of law is literally life or death for at least about 27,000 older folk, mostly Trump supporters. If you love me, kill yourselves. That's what Trump says. The Vice President of the United States shall be the President of the Senate, but shall have no vote unless they be equally divided. Didn't Mike Pence already cast the deciding vote for Miss DeVos to be conferred Education Center Secretary 51-50? Done did it already. The AHCA, the Republican replacement bill to the ACA, is a simple budgetary bill. That is why the AHCA is so much shorter than the ACA. As Sean Spicer points out, that it has no regulations in it. Put in the words your protections instead of regulations. Remember what Bob Dole wrote is 3/4 of the ACA. The AHCA has no Bob Dole patient protections, like no death panels, private or public, no opening up competition across state borders. Not there, folks. Trump lied. What's new? But the AHCA does have carve-outs and does redistribute wealth to the tune of $197,000 per year. Let's keep the math simple. $200,000 per year to the top 564 billionaires, 0.01 percenters, and $33,000 per year to several thousand 1 percenters. The Ryan Trump just got to take care of those poor billionaires mentality, but you get to die. Next point of law is, remember that each house can make their own rules. Now, because the AHCA is a simple budgetary law, no 60 votes are required, even with a filibuster in the Senate. Just a Republican vote plus maybe one vice president. Simple majority vote. In one vote, you hardworking folks lose all your Bob Dole ACA protections. There is a whole lot of things going on this week, too. Russian hearings, Supreme Court hearings, Tom Price hearings. The firing of the New York investigator last week was Trump's attempt to protect Tom Price from corruption charges. And don't forget March Madness. Go Cats. Lots of stuff to cover and pay attention to. Little time to mount a defense on Friday evening. If I was a betting man, I would bet that the AHCA is going to come up for vote this next Saturday, March 25th. Next Saturday is a perfect time. The AHCA has passed the 2 congressional committees and is ready for a vote. All reports that this bill is dead on arrival is just a deflection to keep you from paying real attention to what is in the AHCA or what's going on or not. Understand, if Ryan thought that this bill was dead on arrival on the floor, why would he go through all the effort of writing it up? Why would Ryan bother to push the AHCA through committee after committee? Ryan wouldn't. The AHCA is not dead, but far from. Sean Spicer showed that the ACA and AHCA next to each other and told folks that the AHCA is so much better because the AHCA is so much shorter and smaller than that batty ACA. Remember I told you that the ACA is 3/4 Bob Dole 1996 Republican care protections. I told you that Bob Dole is a good and honest servant. Correct? The biggest difference between the Ryan Trump AHCA and the Bob Dole Mac Baucus ACA is the page after page patient protections written by Bob Dole. Your rights and your protections. Remember, I told you to narrow is to take. Your rights and your protections. The difference in size is a huge example of what narrowing looks like. Understand, healthcare is life care. People will die without those protections. Understand, Donald Trump, with all his crazy tweets, is creating a deviance down mentality. How low can I go? Acceptability. Our society is being pulled down to immorally being acceptable. Bit by bit, tweet by tweet. There is a credible estimates that the next couple of years that the AHCA will kill 27,000 people easily. If this was the Obama administration, that headline would be like plastered on every newspaper, being said and repeated on every TV station. But how many of you have even heard of the 27,000 will die estimate? If the AHCA does not get covered this week, this non-coverage is a loss to our free press. The fact is that Trump is throwing our Christian values in the garbage and making his Randian anti-Christ values normal, wink and nod. I know the sad fact is that the folks who will probably be most affected are those that voted for him at a 59% rate. So sad that he thinks so little of the folks who supported him. I guess Trump sees us as dumb hicks. A literal stab in the back. The AHCA has no mention of taking down state boundaries to increase competition. That was just a red herring from Trump, because there are states that have opened up their boundaries with no increase in competition. Understand, there is an economic reason for private health insurance companies to stay put and not cross state boundaries. The first, there is the startup costs, creating a brand new network of doctors, hospitals, and clinics. The costs of fee and co-insurance, procedure payments, all these have to be negotiated. That costs money. Not a small feat either. Most states don't have the numbers to warrant this new cost. What has happened is instead monopolization of territories, insurance companies having more or less an exclusive market to just a few states next to each other. But there is one way to create nationwide competition. Again, the USDF model of Connect. Since the Medicaid systems are federalized and standardized, there is little or no extra cost for one state to piggyback on another state's Medicaid network. Connect network could have been easily expanded to all 48 lower 48 states, bringing in millions of dollars into Kentucky's state government. The AHCA actually goes after a state's ability to create Connect system to destroy any future state Medicaid expansion possibility. Paul Ryan has the AHCA defederalize the Medicaid system with new block grants and cap and slide system. Cap states' benefits well below current and slide costs to the states, creating a huge provider gap, which you'll end up paying for one way or another. The ACA with USDF would have brought down medical inflation and controlled costs for everyone. The AHCA is, if you love me, kill yourself, Donald Trump. Self-retirement program, just like the HR 933, another story. If you want to know more, go to John Oliver's Last Week Tonight. I've got a link on my Facebook page, Rory Houlihan. Remember, you can't trust Trump. What we can trust is what's in writing. The head of the stream that clears the water. Don't forget to call or email your U.S. congressmen and senators. You know what the AHCA bill will do to you and are against this con. You have a good and blessed day. Bye.